Hope that everyone is having a nice afternoon so far. All right. I think it's about that time. Eytan, buddy, you ready to do this thing?
Let's do it.
All right. Everyone, thank you for being here. This is how leading law firms are reducing client friction with eSignature, brought to you by PracticePanther. Thank you. My name is Jonathan Prosperi. I'm the product manager at PracticePanther. My background is in legal tech, and my role is to make sure that we're always working on the greatest features and updates for PracticePanther that are going to help move your business forward.
All right. Thanks, John. My name is Eytan Haddad. I'm one of the senior account managers here at PracticePanther. I love working here. I love helping firms, and I love, maximizing efficiency out of firms. So I'm really excited to, get you guys in on this webinar, and, we can teach you everything on what our software can do and how eSignature can help your firm. Let's jump into it. So a little bit about PracticePanther. We're an all-in-one case management software. People love us because we're insanely easy to use. There's really cool features, especially when it comes to automation, such as intake forms, workflows, reminders via text messaging. There's templates that you can upload into the software, have it merge information directly from a client and matter, including custom fields. You can do your billing, your invoicing. You can have the software send invoice payment reminders to your clients. And we even have built-in payments. So no need for a third party. It's completely compliant with the ABA and all 50 state bars. So really cool software. Really think you guys would like it. And let's jump into this webinar. Let's learn a little bit more about eSign.
Great. So today's discussion, we're really going to be kicking off talking about some of the friction points that people have. Working as a law firm in the 21st century has no shortage of headaches. And we're going to talk about how there are some trends in technology, particularly eSign, that we think are going to be super helpful in moving your business forward. We're then going to talk a little bit more about specifically where we think that eSignature can really help. And at the end, we're going to do a little Q&A session. So I'm just going to take this opportunity. If you look at the screen here on the bottom, there should be a little Q&A bubble, and you can go ahead, put your questions in there, and Eytan and I will answer those at the end of the presentation.
Yeah, feel free to throw your questions in. We love questions, and we definitely want to get to your questions whenever you have them. So
perfect.
Happy to help.
All right. So as a law firm in the 21st century, we've found that there are a couple of trends that people are really struggling through, and you see them there on the screen, right? Client intake is a huge problem. Just getting people in the door, getting them to sign the retainer, getting them to show back up and continue to do business for you is ranked as the #1 issue that firms are dealing with in the present day. I'll say small to medium-sized firms. Another one is document collection, getting the document to actually sign, to interact, to get you to submit all the things, right? Getting them to actually sign the paperwork and commit to it. It's lost in the mail. They forgot about it. They were busy this week, right? And all the while, their satisfaction is going down because you are the one providing a service. And so these declines, these lacks of efficiency, when your paralegal needs to spend an extra day calling someone for the 3rd time, these are real losses that not only impact the way that your business is operating, it impacts the way that your client feels, and it impacts your team's morale, right? This is also ranked as a major challenge by a lot of small and medium firms. And the last one I think is near and dear to everyone's heart, getting paid, right? Having an unpredictable flow, not knowing when the client is actually going to sign for you to get that, it can mess up your books. And I don't need to tell anyone here that once that starts happening, it can be very difficult to manage. And we recognize that this is, again, a huge problem that people are dealing with in the present day, all of which have easy solutions through technology. Let's go to the next slide. So an interesting statistic that we found in some research was that only 26% of firms claim that they are using technology to improve efficiency. And I understand that technology has taken a lot of time to come to the legal industry, but since the pandemic, so many more courts are accepting of this that it really feels that the industry has taken this step forward, and the leaders in that space are seeing enormous gains, right? We're seeing things like workflow automation saving 8 hours per week per person. That's a 1/5 of your work week that you can accelerate and get those tasks knocked out. You can process your payments faster. And of course, the reason that we're here today talking about eSignature, reducing the signature time from days to minutes. That experience is like you send it out, they get the email, they sign it, and it's done. Right.
Yep.
And that puts the money in your pocket. That puts the retainer into your PracticePanther system. That way you can start working and become unblocked to increase the volume of your business. Next, please.
Yeah, so to touch off what John said. So like you said, from 5 days to 25 minutes, there's no need for snail mail, no need to meet in front of the Starbucks or anything to get something signed. One email and it's done. So how we do it, how eSign works, it removes that need for that slow paper-based trail. You know, you're sending everything directly from the software. No need to mail anything. It all comes in via email. You can sign from any single device, no matter where you are. It could be on a tablet, it could be on a laptop, it could be at your computer, on your phone. You have access to that eSign document, which is really cool. So let's talk a little bit more on how this works. So let's go to that next slide. So how does it work in PracticePanther? It's like I said, it's a super convenient way to collect signatures from everyone, and everything lives within the software on one simple page. So in our software, you could see all your eSign documents. You could see which ones are out for signature, which ones are completed, which ones haven't been received yet. And this all happens within the PracticePanther. No external website. You never have to leave. It's all done directly within our software. You can see it from one simple dashboard, and then just like everything else in the software, it all lives within the client and matter. So let's go to that next slide and see how it can save you time. So like I said, everything can be linked back to a client and matter. So when you are sending an eSign document, you choose which client matter it's going to be related to. So it always will live right back to that client file. You can upload as many documents as you want, which is something that not many people know. If you're using our software, you can upload as many documents, and these can be Microsoft Word documents, because these can be PDF documents, and you can add up to 20 signers per document. And you can even choose which order this is going to go. So if I send it out first to John, then to Jane Smith, and then to John, I'll decide who goes first. And then what's great is that you can even decide the permissions for sending and viewing. So here's how to do this in our software. It's as simple as just dragging and dropping. So you could choose if you want a full signature. You could choose if it's just going to be an initial. You could drag and drop dates, and then you could choose where each person will be signing on this document. You might see at the top left, Dan Bowman. It's a simple drop down and it'll show all of the signers. So you can then choose exactly who it's going to be going to and where they'll be signing on that document.
And Eytan, if I can, I just want to say my favorite thing about this page is how simple it is, not just for you because you're busy, you don't want to be fighting through it. This is a really intuitive page for our users. But the thing that I think is truly valuable about it is that it makes it foolproof for the end client. When they're going to open this up, they're going to see exactly what information they need to be entering on this document. They don't need to be looking around and poking for it. It's a really simple system that, again, expedites that process, because you guys know if it takes a client 5 minutes or if they don't understand it right away, there's a really high drop-off rate there. And the value that I really see in this is that it puts your client 1, 2, 3 signed. The document is back for you in PracticePanther. And again, you can just move on with your business. It really unblocks what can be a really problematic and sticky step.
Exactly. And just like everything else in our software, the end user, the signer is going to be getting an email that's completely customized. You can change the overall look and feel of that email, change the logo, change the color, which is just like our client portal. So the whole software can be branded to your look and feel in your firm. And when a client gets an email like this, it looks legitimate. It really adds credibility to the firm. And in this day and age, that's one of the most important things. Looking tech savvy is being tech savvy. It makes you look official. It makes them move faster. So what your client sees, they get a link with that email, with that branded email. It opens up that document, and it's as simple as just signing by using your mouse. You can use your finger, which everyone has done before, and it's a blast. In my opinion, I think it's really fun to do. And you can draw it just like I said, you can type in that signature, or, which is one of the coolest things, you can actually upload a copy of your own signature. And that will save it right back to the software, right back to that client file. So they review it, everyone gets that notification, and everyone gets an email when that document gets signed.
Beautiful. Yeah. And then what we're looking at here is the last step in that process, right? So this is the screen that you're looking at in PracticePanther to help you track your e-signature. So all the while, when it goes from signer to 1, 2, 3, you're going to get updates about that to show you who has seen it, who has received it, who has signed it, and who it's still pending on. Right. So you can do that follow-up process and you can really be in control of this. What we don't see here is that there's also what we call a grid view, which is like a spreadsheet. You can see all of your outstanding ones, all the ones that have been signed, right? And this, again, really helps you stay organized. There's no need to fight with paper on your desk. There's no need, well, which folder or spreadsheet did I keep this in? That's truly the beauty of these all-in-one systems, is that it helps you to keep everything. And as you can see here, have it all talk to each other, right? It's going to talk to your matter. It's going to talk to your contact, and all of that data will be there when you go into your case.
Something I want to add also, you may see download audit trails. So this is one of the coolest things.
Oh yeah.
Is that you can actually see the exact IP address of when it was opened, when it was viewed, where it was signed, all in one page. So, and you even have a reference number to refer back to. So this is a completely legitimate document that can be actually presented in court, which is awesome.
That is a really great point. And it just goes to show some of the power of using technology for these things, is that this is really a capability that didn't exist in the past, that now is really simple for us to do. And it can increase not just the speed that you're working at, but just the overall raw power of how your team is working. Yeah, so the last part that I want to talk to you about here is, again, about putting you in control of the process, right? And that's about information. And so we just were talking about the audit trails, and notifications are another system that helps you do that, right? So you and the legal staff on your team are going to be in a position where you guys know where the e-signatures are in their process. You're able to track them. You're able to report on that. And again, it just is going to unblock you and save time for your entire practice. All right. So at this point, that's kind of that's the thoughts from our side. We have a couple questions in the Q&A. If people have other thoughts or want to start a conversation, Eytan and I are going to stick around, and we're happy to chat with you guys more about how eSignature and PracticePanther can help your practice. So I'm going to open up this first one here, which is talking about the sharing and collecting of documents within PracticePanther. And I think that this is a great question, because it's talking about how do we store this data. And in PracticePanther, there are a bunch of different options of ways that you can store files. If you use something like OneDrive or Box, those are absolutely options that you have. And PracticePanther has some storage capabilities as well. They're not infinite, but in terms of managing documents like this, it's not an enormous risk. Eytan, was there anything else that you wanted to share on that point?
Yeah, and when it comes to collecting and sharing documents, if you're using our eSign features, there is no storage limit with our native storage, if that's something that you wanted to use.
Great. The other one is from someone, hey, Michelle, who I've been speaking with for quite a while, and she's talking about sending out requests to get a second signature. And there are plenty of features that go around that you know, we can send this out to one person and then to another. And I guess, Michelle, I would want to understand the question in a little bit greater depth, and I would be happy to chat with you post session about this.
Definitely.
I guess that the last point that I want to make here, both about PracticePanther and about eSignature in general, and this is really a trend in technology that gets me really excited, and that I love talking about, and that is the fact that it's not done. eSignature is a piece of technology that's continuing to be iterated, and we at PracticePanther are working on it all the time to continuously update our software, make it better for you. Those of you that are here to attend, we're super appreciative, and we want to give you guys a sneak peek that we are actively working on some new features for the eSignature project. And I don't want to say too much here, but what I do want to say is that if you have been working with eSignature and there are some features that have been on your mind, we have been working with a lot of our top clients to get those favorite features to help make it even better. And if you have any suggestions for features, we would love to be in touch with you. Again, I'm the product manager. Eytan is one of our senior reps, and we love connecting with clients one-on-one to try and show you guys what the technology can do and to make sure that we're always building the tech that is going to move your business forward. Speaking of which, I want to just take this moment to address Tom Lawson's question. Will we be adding saving and reusable templates? Tom, the answer is yes. That is the #1 bullet point for this new edition. All right, maybe I'll get in a little bit of trouble here. Let me just throw out a couple of other ideas that we're talking about, that we're thinking about, that are heavily on our mind. That might be some reminders, the ability to resend, the ability to cancel or to delete an e-signature that's been pending, right? The ability to CC people onto your e-signature document who might not be signers. And again, I don't want to let too much of the cat out of the bag here, but that feature and many more are what we have in store for this coming year. Frank, I want to address this question. Do we have any ideas for requiring a notary public? I think that that's an awesome question. And the answer is that we're thinking about it and we're trying to figure out the best way to address that as, again, part of the thinking that we're doing for future features with PracticePanther's eSignature.
I see a question regarding actually PracticePanther. Do you offer training with PracticePanther? The answer is yes. That is included with the software. You get your own customer success manager that signs up. When you sign up to the software, they're assigned to your firm. They help build the software with you. They do the training, the support, and that also includes free data migration from your current software. And that whole process takes around 3 to 5 business days to get your data over, and there's no additional cost.
Beautiful. I see another great one, Eytan. Is there a fee to use eSignature with PracticePanther?
There's no additional fee. It's included in our business plan, and you get unlimited signatures every single month, which is one of the best values on the market by far.
Yeah. So if you see on the screen here, you can go to the enable eSignature. If you're a PracticePanther user today, you can just go ahead, turn this feature on, and start getting eSignatures put directly into your PracticePanther.
Yeah. So if you're an active user, just go to your settings by clicking your name at the top right, and there's an option for eSignature. From there, you can set permissions. You can change the logo, the color, the look and feel of that email that's going to be sent out. And also, if you're not an active PracticePanther user and you'd like a demo of the software or just to learn a little bit more about e-sign with PracticePanther, you can email me at eytan@practicepanther.com, and I'm happy to help.
Beautiful. I got one more here, and I'll give people another minute or two to keep asking them. Eytan, do these documents automatically upload to Box or other document management systems?
They save directly to the client file. It's its own dedicated e-sign tab. So all of the documents that have been signed will be saved there. And that the whole point of that is it will allow you to track out of those documents, which ones have been viewed, which ones have been, sent out for delivery, and which ones have failed.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted to, you can easily just drag and drop or download and move to a specific file within your Box account or OneDrive or whatever you're going to be using with the software.
Right. I see a question here about the permissions of who can access and use eSignature. Do you want to talk a little bit about that too?
Yeah, let me pull up the exact permissions and I'll tell you, I can give you an exact answer on that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so the cool thing about PracticePanther, we have some of the most advanced security rules on the market. You can limit what each user can create, view, edit, and delete per feature. We even have advanced features where you can limit from where they log in from. So you can limit by IP address as well. So when it comes to eSignature, you can do create, view, edit, and delete for everything. Create, view, edit, and delete for all e-sign documents.
So the answer to your question, Jason, is yes. In a nutshell, there's a lot of texture on what you can control with who is doing it. But in PracticePanther, we do that by role, not necessarily by person. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm happy to answer more about that to you.
And I see Elizabeth has a question. Can we send reminders to client? So this is something that's on the pipeline that in regards to e-sign, but you can, so an easy workaround is you can create a task, assign it to your client, and have the software send reminders with text messages and emails leading up to that due date of when that document needs to be signed. So the software will automatically text them, and you can do up to 5 reminders per task or event.
Beautiful. Yeah, we have all sorts of ideas in mind here about how we can improve eSignature. And again, we want to be collaborating with our clients. That's a big part of how we like to operate. So I love getting this feedback about what features you guys think are going to make the biggest difference.
Yeah, I've been here since almost day one, and we built the software based off of feature requests and what people want to see. And that's why our software does so much, and we're one of the most popular softwares on the market for exactly that reason.
Yeah, it's all about the user experience here. I want to take this second here to address Jana's question. If on a document with multiple signatures, can the signer see who has or has not signed? And the answer is yes. If you remember that screen that I was showing you that had the tracker of the status, you can see which people have or have not signed it, which have seen it but not signed it. You know, they opened it on their phone but didn't click the button kind of thing. And that audit trail that Eytan was talking about before can also help you with that. All right. So if
on top of that, you get those email notifications when a person has signed, and those get sent out to everyone.
Exactly. Great. Follow up on that. Can the other signers see when one person signs? I believe that the answer to that, Eytan, correct me, is no, but we are developing some technology right now that is going to help support making that easier. Right. And again, one of the most exciting things for me is that we are continuing to develop and iterate and find new use cases. You know, a lot of technology, the things that I was pointing to before, payment processing, automation, these are all technologies that started off as very, very simple tools and have continued to grow until now they've completely changed the way that we do business. And for me, moving these forward and just seeing how these trends can change a field as, you know, entrenched and as big as the field of law, it's really exciting stuff. And I think that Eytan will agree that it's a pleasure for us to be a part of seeing that happen and working with you all to do that. All right, I'm going to take one more question here. If anyone has it, please throw it in now, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up for the day. So we have from Frank, is it possible to have a link for a payment upon execution of a representation agreement? Frank, that is a really, really insightful question. And I think that is an excellent point. Eytan and I were talking about it this morning. You might see in the chat here, my buddy David, who is one of our smartest product developers. And we were all putting our heads together to figure out exactly the best way to do that. So again, my boss will probably kill me if I say yes or even say maybe, but know that we are thinking highly about that, Frank, and wink, I appreciate the question. All right. Barring anything else, I think that it's about that time. The last note that I want to leave it on here to you guys is, again, please be in touch with us. You can see Eytan's email right there to get a demo. You can follow up with any of us, reach out to support, reach out to your CSM, your success manager. And thank you again one more time for being here. You guys are the best. All right.
Thanks, guys.
I hope everyone has a great day. Take care.